This is a special announcement from the So Weird podcast. Everybody, drop whatever you're doing right now. This is the most important thing that will happen today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pop open the champagne bottles.
It's happening!
Yay!
Woo!
What specifically is happening? What have we've been waiting for this whole time?
So
Whoa.
weird on Disney!
Yeah. Disney Plus.
Official HD release of the series, basically.
No
Yeah.
more VHS rips. No more buying bootleg DVDs.
High quality audio.
And they say that once it's on there, it's staying on there. It's not going away.
So we have
Yay.
So Weird forever.
Just kind of been the theme, like I don't know, like not the theme of our podcast, but we've been wanting it since for years. We've been talking about it since the beginning of starting this podcast, and it's kind of crazy how it's almost here right at the end of our reviewing of all the episodes.
Literally like 53 days away.
Yeah, and we may still record the series finale review for So Weird tonight, but we found out earlier today that this was actually going to happen. So Weird was going to end up on Disney Plus. So how did that happen? How did we find out?
Well, earlier this week, or last week, I don't know, there was this list going around, and It's So Weird was on that list, but we were being like cautiously optimistic for a while. Yeah,
Just to clarify, a list of the supposedly every TV show and movie that will be on Disney Plus at launch.
Yes. And yesterday, I just got so tired of waiting, so I just emailed the Jon Cooksey, and I was like, off the record, can you confirm or deny this? And he got back to me this morning. I said that he had just reached out to someone he trusted. He was able to confirm it. It was, in fact, coming to Disney Plus. And then a couple hours later, he announced it on Twitter.
We got the go from Jon Cooksey. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, we all agree that Jon Cooksey wouldn't have posted this if he wasn't 100% certain it was true. Because we all know Cooksey, we know what kind of guy he is, we know he wouldn't pass around rumors unless he was certain they were fact. So it does seem to be official that So Weird will be on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So close as official, that we have right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if anyone's just tuning in and is like, who is Jon Cooksey? He was the showrunner of the show from season 1 and 2. So yeah, he wouldn't lie about this. I don't think he would tell us if he didn't know for sure. And if he's wrong and Disney changes their mind, I mean, he's our captain and we go down with him. We go down,
Yeah.
We're,
He's
we're
as
all,
heartbroken as us.
we're all going down on Jon Cooksey.
oh my god.
He's engaged, Zach.
Anyway,
Congrats, Jon Cooksey.
oh yes, of course. But there's a part of me that's still very trepidatious about this. I still feel like until I have Disney Plus on my TV and I can see that So Weird is available there on the programs and I'm watching Family Reunion in HD, until that moment I still don't know if I will believe this.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I still remember John from the Watch Disney Care team, because when Disney first launched that, I put in request after request for So Weird, and John from the Watch Disney Care team told me that he understood my request for So Weird, but it never went anywhere. And now I feel maybe there's hope. Maybe after all this time, John from the Watch Disney Care team did his job, and John from the Watch Disney Care team maybe just does care about So Weird.
Yeah, if you think back to like when we've been requesting, I'm sure after the show stopped airing, there's probably people emailing
Me.
Disney, and then now there's this app where you could watch, throwback shows. So we would send messages to them, and they would reply like, "We've heard your requests and concerns, but that didn't really go anywhere, as far as we know."
It's finally here, guys. I'm so excited.
And then like when Netflix was like, or Hulu, all that was coming out on Hulu, Disney owns Hulu, we're like, maybe it could be on theirs. We would ask them, and they'll reply saying like, "Yeah, we've heard your requests." So it's like, oh, we've been trying to, keep the faith this whole time.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, literally, I think every single episode of the show, practically, maybe not every single episode, but the majority of the episodes of this podcast has featured us in some way saying, go bug Disney to put So Weird on Hulu or Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. And it's finally happening. Probably.
Mhm.
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's really
and
surreal.
It's also
Mhm.
very surreal, and it's kind of special in a way because the oldest fans in this fan base have been here for around 20 years. So for 20 years, for some of us, we've been waiting for some sort of official release of this show and or soundtrack. And now that it's been really special for us as podcast co-hosts, because we have reached the end of our show. We have one episode of So Weird left to review, and now we're getting the confirmation that all of our faith and all of our wishing and hoping and working really hard and diligently for this old show that's been off the air for years, now it's coming full circle that we're about to be done with the podcast, and then the show is going to be officially released for everyone. So it's beautiful and it's really special.
Yeah, and hopefully this will cause a big influx of listeners to our show.
Yeah.
I'd say we're the first ones who reviewed every episode, so when people are going like, "Hey, So Weird, season 2, episode 4, review," or something like that, our show's going to be the first one that people are going to be tuning into. At least we started it. We've been here since before there was an official release, so it's kind of special.
And I'm so excited to be able to rewatch the series again in decent quality and have other people to rewatch it with. Because we used to do the live streams, but I feel like it's going to be like on a whole new level to see other people rediscovering or discovering the show for the first time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just earlier today, I was telling my mom about this, and she said, "Oh, I'm looking forward to rewatching So Weird from the beginning." My 61-year-old mother. So see
Aw.
the reach this has.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
That's great. No, I mean,
It-
I was in regards to the podcast, and it ending, I was just thinking, part of the reason I wanted to be on this podcast is because I wanted everyone to have a conversation about the show. I wanted to be part of that conversation because no one was talking about it. And now here at the end, the conversation's expanding because they're finally releasing it. And that is the most exciting part to me. I'm so excited to hear new voices talking about the show and contributing to fandom and the fan art and all of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it earlier. I wonder if the list going around is what has been jogging people's memories, because over the last week I've been seeing so many more people talking about it than even right before then.
Yeah, it's been amazing already. So.
Though there is one thing that I am still kind of cautious about, the fact that there are no other Disney shows from that era on the list. Like there's like The Jersey, Jet Jackson, Flash Forward, or In a Heartbeat, any of these shows that were on, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't seem to see any other shows on the list from that same time. So
Yeah, no shows from that same time, but there are movies from that same time,
yeah,
and
the DComs and such.
yeah, but my theory is we were the loudest.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering, is the fact that the So Weird fandom has been so passionate about this. Was that perhaps a factor? Because
I
there's
think
no
so.
The Jersey podcast.
I don't know, man. I don't know if they really looked at that. I have no idea what they're like the way they picked things. Because I was thinking, even if So Weird is not going to be on it, if like it wouldn't be on it when it launches, I was thinking they can't just ignore an error. Eventually, it'd have to be on there. So I'm thinking maybe those shows will be on there later. But it's just, well, why is So Weird on here and not those other shows? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they'll be
Well,
added
then-
later.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, like you were saying, our fan base was the loudest, but it was also one of the few fan bases, that has been consistently tweeting about this show to Disney and all of its cohorts. that we are really passionate about it. We want it. And there have been a lot of people voicing that they actually wouldn't have subscribed to D Plus, Disney Plus, if So Weird wasn't going to be in the initial launch. So it does
Me.
seem like they've kind of acknowledged us in that way by only putting this only Zoog show on the launch.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But I think it does say something that there is no The Jersey podcast, there is no Famous Jet Jackson podcast, and those shows aren't on there. But there is a So Weird podcast, and So Weird is on there. Well, probably. So, maybe, I don't know, maybe our fan base and the passion we have and the fact that we've been holding a torch for this show for over 20 years at this point, maybe it was a factor. I don't know.
We kept the faith.
Yeah.
And we never gave up.
Yeah. So it's paying off. And it seems like, like they have acknowledged that, because not many of those shows from the Zoog era actually have, such a great fiction. I don't know, like I feel like this was So Weird was more grounded in that, it had such a deep fiction in it. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the lore of it is kind of expanded, and like you were saying, there is no Jet Jackson podcast because there wasn't really any lore to it. It was kind of like one-off episodes every week. Not, saying anything about the Famous Jet Jackson. I love that show. But So Weird, it's definitely kind of stood the test of time with the subject matter.
Yeah, we've definitely referred to So Weird as timeless. And it is true that every time I do rewatch the show, I always get something else out of it. So I am super, super excited to see that it is going to be a release and that we get to rewatch it again in good quality and that other people get to experience it for the first time. I'm
Probably.
so excited to be able to see other people react to this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, keep an eye out on our Twitter. We'll keep you all updated on all the everything going on with Disney Plus. If we hear anything else, and we're going to come up with some ideas for how we can celebrate once the show is actually up, and how we're all going to enjoy the show again together. So,
all right.
So thank you for keeping the faith.
I wanted to add a little announcement. Today, Alex Johnson actually took to her social media, and she said that tomorrow her short documentary will be released, and it is about her music career and where her next album is headed. And her documentary is called The Longer Road. It will be released tomorrow, and then she announced that on September 27th, her first, as of yet unnamed or unknown single will be released in a week. So that's another great announcement we got.
Nice.
Speaking of Alex, I was thinking, this show, it'll be on there, or hopefully it'll be on there, and people watch it more. Maybe more will come from this. Really don't want to have my hopes up really high, but I'm thinking, what if something else comes from this? What if, revivals or reboots or whatever that's happening nowadays? Who knows? Who knows what will come from this? But having it on there was just what everyone wanted, and I'm 100% satisfied with that.
Yeah, same.
Agreed.
All right, well, let's just give one more Yahoo about the fact that probably, fingers crossed, it is 99.9% certain confirmed that So Weird is getting an official re-release for Disney. So, holy shit, oh my god. I can't believe it.
We're excited. Hope you're excited. Let us know how excited you are in the comments and tweet.
Yes.
Keep tweeting about it. I love
spread the
retweeting
word.
everything. There's so much out there that I'm trying not to spam people. Yeah, it's
Keep
great.
spread the word. Get geared up for So Weird.
Yes, keep talking about it. And thank you so much for listening.
I just want to bust out in song I woke up this morning and looked out the window, smiled with a tear in my eye.
Beautiful. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.